Are you ready? All right. Gee, it's really great to connecting in with you, mate. I'm really glad. Lukey, you do so much work for people. You're really in the midst of those people serving most because you really left your ways behind, I'm telling you. And I'm really fabulous to be connecting in with people from Facebook and the Internet. And I just thought that it might be good, because that was a question that you had for me as to the correct dating of the Earth and that sort of thing, and what sort of what types of things might I put into a program that people can listen to that can be a brick that really doesn't fit into the wall that's been built about the time frame. But one thing that I might say right off the cuff for people listening is that the dating of the Earth is being based upon Darwin and Hegel's theories, and Darwin and Hegel considered that a layer of Earth, they just considered it to have taken perhaps 10,000 years to have formed, and they never considered there was and has been calamity, meteorite impact and tsunamis and things can have, and certainly like tsunamis can have created 10, 20 layers in a day. And there's been quite meteorite impact and this sort of thing and calamity, and they never thought about calamity in their equation. When they were dating the Earth, you could imagine that people were just observing a candle in a room, and they had measured the wax, and they measured the wick and the oxygen, and from these things they were able to determine how long the candle had burned for. And this would all be okay if things were constant. But what would it be if our listeners were to consider that the door was open, or a window was open, or that oxygen in the room had diminished? These are all forces that can have caused the candle to burn faster or slower. And when Darwin and Hegel put their theories forward, they never had in their theories any space for any calamity that can have occurred. And so the dating of the Earth at the moment has been based upon geologists and archaeologists having looked upon a layer just simply having occurred as a result of 10,000 years having passed. And so the dating of the Earth has really been lengthened enormously as a result of this, and as I said, none of them considered these calamities which have occurred, and many times over the terrestrial layer of the Earth has been covered over, and all sorts of evidence for advanced cultures from the distant ages have surfaced. For instance, in Nevada, people can look this up, of course, if they'd love to, but in Nevada, a shoe sole imprint is in the rock, and it has a stitching and everything, and it has a heel, and that is in really ancient rock, quite some millions of years old. There was a block wall in an Oklahoma mine that came out of a coal mine, and that they discovered, and that it was all fused together as if by radiation. How that rock wall could have got into the carboniferous layer of coal could be explained certainly, because when the volcanic activity erupts, it can cover over a lot of trees and things, and lots of things can get just washed down into an area and become trapped in a seam of coal and this sort of thing. So in Oklahoma mine, they found a beautiful block wall there's all sorts of artifacts from Aix province in France, and there's letters in a marble block that was found in Philadelphia, which is very ancient, in an ancient strata. There's a nail that's been found embedded in sandstone, in Devonian sandstone in Scotland. There's a beautiful gold thread that's been found in Carboniferous stone in England, and there's a beautiful metallic vase from Precambrian rock at Dorchester in Massachusetts, which has been found. There's a beautiful tertiary chalk ball from Lyon in France that has been found. There's a gold chain in Carboniferous coal from Morrisonville in Illinois. There's I mean, it's amazing. There's an iron cup from Oklahoma coal mine, and carved stone from Lehigh coal mine near Webster in Iowa. There's a tiny little person, which is very small, that was blown out of a rock in Wyoming in the United States. So there's a lot of evidence for advanced cultures from the distant past, and in the Pluxee region in Texas, we've found dinosaur footprints having run up a gully, and inside those dinosaur footprints there's human footprints that have run in the tread marks of the footprints of the dinosaur as it ran up the gully to escape a tsunami, it seems, because right up in the crags of a cliff that you could find lots of animal remains of all sorts of animals that seemed like they were washed down into crevices, and human bones have been found with dinosaur bones there. There's also a beautiful hammer that's been found, and that's in something like a 3 million year old rock. But up to this point, most of the evidence that's considered sort of gives the impression that if humans have existed in the distant past, apparently they remain somewhat at sort of a primitive level of cultural and technical achievement. And then that's the picture that's been painted. But these things which we're talking about right now, they're bricks which really don't fit into that wall that most people have thought about. But if you do some reverse engineering when you find something, there's gorgeous, beautiful metallic balls and things that is of a metal that is not made today. The metal which the hammer that was found is made of is a metal which has a lot of chlorine in it, and it could be dated back to a time when the atmosphere had a lot more chlorine in it, which that's around 300 million years old, and it's certainly the wood of that was petrified and things. And one thing you could say certainly is that the hammer must be older than the rock. So, you know, there's a lot of anomalies which haven't fit into the wall that we've been taught. But if we can find, if we do find these items, they can be. You could reverse engineer from deductive reasoning what sort of civilization can have had to have existed to have created these beautiful artifacts. The beautiful vase that was blown out of a coal mine in Oklahoma is made up out of a zinc material, and it's inlaid with silver, and it definitely harks to a time that of a civilization past that is in really antiquity.